The Nazca Lines, mysterious, puzzling. These ancient geoglyphs, etched into the arid plains of southern Peru, have captivated the imagination of historians, archaeologists, and tourists alike. Stretching over 50 miles, these lines form intricate patterns and figures that can only be fully appreciated from the sky. But what do they mean, and who created them? A giant puzzle drawn on the earth. The Nazca Lines are not just random scratches, they are a sophisticated network of lines and shapes, some of which span hundreds of feet. These lines have been preserved for over 1,000 years, thanks to the dry, windless climate of the region. Imagine a drawing, but super huge, drawn on a desert instead of paper. These drawings include straight lines, geometric shapes, and more than 70 animal and plant designs, known as biomorphs. The most famous among them are the hummingbird, the spider, and the monkey, each one a marvel of ancient engineering. This isn't the work of just one artist. The creation of these lines required a coordinated effort, involving precise planning and execution. The Nazca people, who lived between 200 BCE and 600 CE, are believed to have used simple tools and surveying techniques to create these massive designs. This is a masterpiece that took centuries to make, created by a civilization that's been lost to time. The purpose of the Nazca Lines remains one of the greatest archaeological mysteries. Some theories suggest they were created for astronomical purposes, while others believe they were part of religious rituals or water-related ceremonies. Welcome to the world of the Nazca Lines, where giant spiders, monkeys, and hummingbirds are drawn on the earth, so big you can only see them from the sky. These figures are so precise that they have sparked numerous theories about their creation, including the possibility of ancient hot air balloons or even extraterrestrial assistance. These drawings, scattered across the desert, are more than just old doodles. They show how clever humans can be and give us a peek into a civilization we're still trying to understand. The Nazca people had a deep understanding of geometry and were able to create these designs without modern technology. These aren't just simple scratches in the dirt. The lines were made by removing the top layer of reddish-brown iron oxide-coated pebbles to reveal a yellow-gray subsoil. This method has kept the lines visible for centuries, despite the harsh desert conditions. The Nazca Lines are precise, enormous, and unbelievably detailed. Some of the straight lines run up to 30 miles long, and the figures are so large that they can only be fully appreciated from the air. This has led to much speculation about how the Nazca people could have created such accurate designs without the ability to view them from above. Some are over 1,200 feet long. The sheer scale of these drawings is mind-boggling. The largest figures are up to 1,200 feet long, and the total length of all the lines combined is over 800 miles. They show everything from simple shapes to complex animal figures. Why were they made? Theories range from astronomical calendars to religious rituals, but no one knows for sure. What we do know is that they are a testament to the ingenuity and creativity of the Nazca people. And how could they be so precise without being able to see them from above? This question has puzzled researchers for decades. Some believe the Nazca used simple tools like ropes and stakes to map out the designs on the ground, while others think they may have had some form of aerial assistance. These are the questions that have puzzled explorers and scientists for decades. As we continue to study the Nazca Lines, we may one day uncover the secrets of this ancient civilization. Until then, the lines remain one of the world's most fascinating and enduring mysteries. Deep in southern Peru, the Nazca Lines lie on a high, dry plateau. These lines, etched into the earth, are one of the world's greatest archaeological mysteries. They stretch across the arid landscape, forming intricate patterns and shapes that can only be fully appreciated from the sky. It's a harsh desert, not a rainforest or snowy mountains. The landscape is stark and unforgiving, with temperatures soaring during the day and plummeting at night. This extreme environment has played a crucial role in preserving the lines for millennia. It's called the Pampa Colorada, or Red Plain, because of the reddish-brown rocks. These rocks, combined with the unique soil composition, create a striking contrast against the clear blue sky. The colors are vivid, almost otherworldly, adding to the mystique of the Nazca Lines. The dry climate has kept the lines safe for over 2,000 years. The lack of rain and wind erosion has ensured that these ancient artworks remain almost as clear as the day they were created. It's a natural preservation method that has stood the test of time. Imagine standing on this huge plain, the hot sun beating down. The heat is intense, almost oppressive, and the vastness of the desert stretches out in every direction. It's a humbling experience, making you feel small in the face of such an expansive and ancient landscape. The wind blows past like it's whispering ancient secrets. The sound of the wind is the only noise in this desolate place, adding to the sense of isolation and mystery. It's as if the desert itself is alive, holding on to the secrets of the past. You look around, but all you see is desert. The horizon seems endless, with no signs of life or civilization. It's a stark reminder of the harsh conditions the ancient Nazca people endured to create these magnificent lines. But high above, if you could fly, the desert comes alive. From the sky, the true scale and beauty of the Nazca Lines are revealed. The shapes and patterns emerge, telling stories that have been etched into the earth for centuries. A hummingbird appears, its wings spread out. This delicate figure carved into the ground is a testament to the skill and artistry of the Nazca people. It's a symbol of life and beauty in an otherwise barren landscape. A spider crawls across the ground, frozen in time. This geoglyph, with its intricate details, showcases the precision and dedication required to create such a masterpiece. It's a snapshot of the past, preserved for future generations to marvel at. It's amazing to see, a reminder of how clever the ancient people were who made these incredible drawings. Their ingenuity and creativity have left a lasting legacy, one that continues to captivate and inspire us today. The Nazca Lines are not just drawings, they are a window into a civilization that once thrived in this harsh desert environment. The Nazca Lines weren't always famous. For centuries they lay hidden in plain sight, walked over by local people who had no idea of their significance. These massive geoglyphs etched into the arid desert floor were a mystery waiting to be uncovered. The local inhabitants, going about their daily lives, would traverse these lines without a second thought. They were simply part of the landscape, blending seamlessly with the natural surroundings. It wasn't until the early 20th century that the true scale and complexity of the Nazca Lines began to be understood. In the 1900s, as technology advanced and the world became more connected, people started to take notice. The vast desert, once seen as a barren wasteland, was now being explored with new eyes. Researchers and adventurers alike were drawn to the enigmatic lines that stretched across the landscape. The advent of aviation played a crucial role in the discovery of the Nazca Lines. As airplanes began to soar across the Peruvian sky, pilots and passengers were treated to a bird's-eye view of the desert below. From this vantage point, the lines took on a new form, revealing intricate patterns and shapes that were invisible from the ground. In 1927, Peruvian archaeologist Toribio Mejia Zespe made a significant observation. While standing on a hillside, he noticed the strange lines etched into the desert floor. This discovery piqued his curiosity, and he began to study them more closely, laying the groundwork for future research. However, it was American historian Paul Kosok who truly brought the Nazca Lines to the world's attention. In 1939, while studying ancient irrigation systems, Kosok flew over the desert and was struck by the sheer scale and precision of the lines. He realized that these were not random markings but carefully designed geoglyphs. As Kosok continued his aerial surveys, he began to see patterns emerge. The lines formed recognizable figures including animals, plants, and geometric shapes. This revelation was groundbreaking, and Kosok was determined to uncover their purpose. The Nazca Lines were not just random doodles in the sand, they were a sophisticated form of art and communication. Kosok was amazed by the ingenuity and effort required to create these massive designs, which could only be fully appreciated from the air. Kosok dedicated his life to studying the lines, hypothesizing that they had astronomical significance. He believed that the geoglyphs were aligned with celestial events, serving as a giant calendar or observatory. His theories sparked a wave of interest and debate among scholars and enthusiasts. Kosok's pioneering work inspired a new generation of researchers to delve into the mysteries of the Nazca Lines. Today, they continue to captivate and intrigue, offering a glimpse into the ingenuity and creativity of an ancient civilization. The discovery of the lines was just the beginning of a journey that continues to this day. The Nazca people who made these amazing drawings between 500 BC and 500 AD didn't have modern tools. They didn't have bulldozers or lasers, but they made designs so precise you can see them from thousands of feet up. How? The Nazca Lines are like giant negative drawings. The desert floor is covered in reddish-brown rocks. By removing these rocks, they showed the lighter sand underneath. This contrast created the lines. They used simple tools, sticks for marking, ropes for measuring, and tools for digging. They might have used a grid to keep the lines straight over long distances. The best way to see the Nazca Lines is from the air. You can walk on some of them, but you can't see how big and intricate they really are. Imagine flying in a small plane, the engine roaring as you take off. As you go higher, the desert spreads out below, and then you see them. The lines, almost invisible from the ground, become clear. The hummingbird, pointing towards the sunrise, looks ready to fly. The monkey, with its curled tail, seems to be jumping. The spider seems to crawl across the desert. Seeing the Nazca Lines from the air is amazing, connecting you to the people who made them. The big question is why? Why did the Nazca people make these huge figures that you can only see from the sky? There's no definite answer, which makes them so interesting. There are many theories. Some think the lines mark the sun, moon, and stars. Others think they were part of a system for watering crops. Still others think they were pathways for religious ceremonies. Were they messages to the gods or giant calendars? The mystery continues. The Nazca Lines are fragile. They've survived for centuries, but they're threatened by pollution, cities growing, and careless tourists. Protecting them is important. Groups are working hard to protect the lines. They're limiting cars near the site, making viewing platforms for tourists, and repairing damage. They're also teaching visitors about respecting the lines. It's a tough job, balancing sharing this amazing place with the world and keeping it safe. The Nazca Lines are still fascinating. They remind us that we don't know everything, that there are still mysteries to solve. Standing on the desert, looking at the sky, you feel connected to the ancient people who lived there. What were they trying to say with these figures? Did they think we would understand their message someday? Or were they just being creative? These questions keep us interested in the Nazca Lines. The Nazca Lines aren't just ancient history. They show how imaginative and clever humans can be. They remind us that there are still wonders to discover and stories to tell. As we explore our world, the Nazca Lines remind us that the past isn't really gone. It lives on in ancient civilizations, in the desert wind, and in the mystery of the Nazca Lines forever drawn on the earth.